What did the popular kid at your school do to go from cool to an absolute outcast? Semi-popular, kinda preppy kid tried to kill his parents by pouring vodka around their bed at night and setting it on fire because they took his CDs away. Pulled out a knife and slashed another student kid with the knife. Went to Outcast status. Kid that got slashed became super cool and had a scar. Everyone wanted to see it. I can link to an article about the stabbing if anyone's interested. Edit. https www. Telegraph Co. UK. News. 12,199,703. School bans phones after pupils post videos of teen being stabbed in playground. HTML. So your school had a knife incident and their response was to ban phones. The phones who had the evidence were to blame, but not the knife or the lack of security in school. Sounds like school. Guy got accused of rape at a party and nobody believed the girl. And people spread vicious rumors about her and sided with him. The whole thing seemed like everyone viewed him as a victim, and he played himself up that way. Until a few months later, another girl said she had been raped by him at a party. And multiple other people at the party saw her hysterically crying and bruised afterwards. There were not so many people supporting him after that. I got away with it once, I'm sure I can do it again. Hope the girls are okay. That's horrible to hear. Killed an infant in a car accident. Completely shut down during senior year. Wouldn't talk to anybody anymore. Ugh, gee, that sounds like one of those situations which ends horribly for every single person involved. Blah. Yeah, there wasn't really anybody at fault either, it was just a massive case of bad luck. People reached out to him for a while. But eventually I think people just couldn't keep stressing themselves over it. If there were social situations outside of school, I didn't know about them. But in school, he was pretty much a self-inflicted pariah. He got drunk and killed a family of 4 in a car accident. That's accidentally left a video of himself sticking stuff up his ass on a phone that he sold to another student. I never saw him again after that. Plot twist, he was just trying to hook a brother up and it backfired. Wholesome for once, I guess. All popular kids in my school were complete dickheads that bullied others. This fella, king of the hill, starts dating a girl from another school that was friends with one of the bullied kids. The kid told the girl what her boyfriend does in THT school. So the girl threatened to break up with him if he didn't change his ways. He stopped socializing with the cool folks and started getting bullied by them. And none of the other kids wanted to warm up to him. He was a loner at school, but he made his GF happy and he was happy. That makes me happy. He stood for what mattered most to him and it made him a better man. Well, everyone else grew up. He didn't, and doesn't seem to want to. Now it's everyone else's fault 10 years later. Ugh, this is the path my brother is going down. My mother fears that he will be 30 with no education, skills, or job. The kid just has no work ethic in him. It was easy for him to cruise through high school since literally it is almost impossible to fail, but when college came he got kicked out one semester in and now just does nothing. There was a popular cheerleader at my school that was in a bad car wreck and she suffered severe brain damage. The day she came back, some of her friends, aka the popular kids, Saturday with her at lunch. Every day after that though, they Saturday on the other side of the cafeteria in their normal spot and she was with the other special needs students. They would walk past her without saying a word. As far as everyone knew, her entire group of friends completely abandoned her. I don't think she missed them though. So silver lining, she seemed to be very happy most of the time after the accident. Not so much before. This was in the mid-late 80s. And every teen movie with a bunch of shitty preppies pretty much accurately depicts the popular kids in my HS. Exact same happened in my class. She had a shitty boyfriend who she wanted to break up with because he was mean to her, but he died in the accident. So all she remembered was how great he was because of her mental issues after the accident. Edit. It's been 35 years. After telling my kids about this, I remember that though she had some small memory coordination issues, she was on the cheer squad senior year. My class had some jackasses, but this girl wasn't treated poorly. Crack. He and his couple friends started smoking crack senior year of high school. They got quarantined to themselves. Ran into one of them a couple weeks ago. He kept trying to get me back to their apartment to do meth. Well, at least he's off the crack. He upgrades to crack plus. Got hit by a train. Everyone cared about him until he got out of the hospital and wasn't the same mentally. All the other popular kids mock him and have him blocked on social media to this day. That's mess. Our king of the school was the quarterback of the football team this year. Top of the pyramid until he got busted raping one of our classmates at a party. After high school, he was convicted multiple times for child molestation, and he ended up committing suicide last March. My school has the opposite. A guy raped a girl and now everyone defends him and wants him released from jail. She tried to manipulate all her friends and pit them against each other with a bunch of catty lies. Well, that in combination with wearing her pageant sash and crown to school for like a week. Was your friend Iago by any chance? He was popular because he was a rebel that talked back to teachers, and insulted them openly. He became an outcast because he made the teacher everyone loved cry. I had a guy in my class do this recently. Nobody really talks to him anymore. He hooked up with two of his friends' girlfriends. They ditched him after that. Edit. People are asking why the girls went along with it. This was high school, and there was a lot of partying and alcohol. No excuses, but for a lot of people, it was their first time getting drunk and completely wasted. Edit 2. One guy dumped his girlfriend for cheating but the other one didn't. I guess it was because she was his first love and childhood sweetheart, so he forgave her. We had a guy like this in our frat. He would always try to sleep with everyone's girlfriends. Everyone just started ignoring him because of it. Some guy got mad when he was drunk texting the guy's girlfriend when everyone was at a party, and the guy beat his ass in front of everyone. He dropped after that. Most popular kid in my middle school was this big Samoan dude. Looked like he was 13 going on 25 old. I remember he gained a lot of popularity when he serenaded this girl in class to ask her to dance. He had music playing on his iPhone and he started belting out love songs while on bended knee. Later on that year he went from hero to zero when we found out he'd been molesting his sister. 0 to 100 real fucking quick. Sent his girlfriend's naked pics to the whole school. Wow, what a scumbag. The worst part of it was the excuse he gave: "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to send it to everyone. Just a couple guys from the basketball team." He ended up switching school, killed 2 university students while drunk driving, and then complained because she wouldn't be able to go to the bar and get drunk on her 18th birthday. How shallow and narcissistic do you have to be to pull this shit? Fucking, there's someone further up who killed a kid entirely by accident and went into self-imposed isolation because of the guilt. Pretty fucking shallow and narcissistic. Unfortunately, I know a girl from high school who hit a stroller while plastered. She had 2 fucking miracles happen to her that year. 1, the child wasn't in the stroller, the mom had pulled him out while talking to a friend, and 2, somehow the judge didn't hit her with the book and agreed to let her keep her license and skip jail. With the condition of probation, no drinking and mandatory AA. She posted on Facebook, "Probation starts tomorrow, who wants to get plastered before I can't anymore." She didn't even make it 1 day. Graduated high school. He turned into that 30-year-old dude that still hasn't gotten over high school. We had a friend who was like that. We all realized we grew apart when he tries to tap everyone at the barbecue and still trying to do the party boy gimmick from Jackass. Our senior year, this kid used to boast all the time about smoking weed and getting drunk. One day, about halfway through the year, he showed up to first period art class, hammered. He passed out in class, and busted his head open, bleeding everywhere. He had bottles of booze, a bunch of weed, and a ton of pills in his backpack. He was taken away in an ambulance, and no one really ever heard from him again. Rehab then homeschool, probably. This kid in middle school used to talk shit to everyone. He had nice stuff his parents got him and everyone thought he was tough and could fight until one day he started on a special needs kid. Nobody had ever actually seen the popular kid fight. He just was excellent at intimidation. Now a lot of the special needs kids in my area weren't just students who were mentally challenged, but had overall learning disabilities. Many of those kids came from very tough homes, and the special needs kid who the popular kid messed with was an absolute savage. He grew up in a pretty tough part of town but was really a gentle giant. He could play football. He was muscular. He could do everything the regular students could do except speak properly. A minor speech impediment, the popular kid challenged him to a one-on-one fight and got his ass kicked by the special needs kid. I'm talking blood everywhere. His clothes got ripped. One of his sneakers landed like 10 feet away. And to top it all off, he even tried running away after the first few punches. The special needs kid grabbed him and pulled him back. It was a massacre. The popular kid not only lost all of his influence but didn't even have the guts to come back to school for like a week. If I ever saw instant karma, it would have had to have been on this day, because he was quiet as a mouse the rest of the years through high school.